we need to talk this morning, ladies and gentlemen, about driving etiquette, traffic violations. You see, yesterday it was made mentioned, and if you disagree, no problem. I wait for you to join in. That a good number of the commercial drivers in Port Harcourt City very flagrantly break the rules, glaringly, boldly. It's almost as though the rules were not made for them, and I have to agree because I've seen this happen. Now, someone said it's because the police, the traffic officials, traffic wardens are in cahoots with these commercial drivers, and they make the task of driving a little bit more cumbersome than they actually have to be, right? So my questions, two questions this morning. Number one, why are these commercial drivers, some of them, not all of them, right? Why are some commercial drivers boldly, and I mean very boldly, violating traffic laws in this state? Why? With their full chest, they do it. The second one, should instantaneous fines be used for traffic violations? Let me read that again. Should instant fines? So if the policeman is meant to catch you right now, right? There's no, let's take you to the office. No. Nah. They write a ticket for you. Bam, take it. Is that going to help in, what's the best word? Resetting some of the levels of stupidity that happens on the roads.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
So 017-923-0003, 017-923-0007. I have so many fines for you this morning, and I will get to them. But first, let's get to hear from Clement, who's speaking to us from NTA Road. Good morning to you, Clement.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
Mr. Jude, you see, I have a client who just came into the country and into Port Harcourt. The client claims specifically for the Rivers State Economic and Investment
Summit. That was about 3 days ago.
Yes. And of course, he wants to invest. And one of the things that he noticed is that, in fact, he told me categorically, Clement, I cannot drive in Port Harcourt. I cannot even go out. The only time I usually go out is when his elder brother is around. That is when he goes out. And he does not want to drive at all. He's raising the point that we are crazy in Port Harcourt or in Nigeria. That we drive as if we are insane. That even the elder brother is a James Bond on the road. So what that tells me simply is that we are not normal in Nigeria. Maybe today we know the normal. In fact, we have come to accept that we are abnormal in this country.
I don't think we've come to accept it. But Clement, very quickly, because I have Robin waiting for us. Why do you think they break these traffic violations and with instant fines help curb it?
Exactly. The previous American government said if you violate any traffic, so you go to the psychiatric hospital. I guess what happened to that section of that law for Nigeria, for the River State?
But that's not instantaneous.
Psychiatric hospital. Simple. Then you see what will happen.
Okay. Robin is in the chair. Robin, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, my brother. The dude killed himself.
Welcome.
You see, Jude, do you know that human beings find it difficult to adopt to a new style or a new system? Look at the discussion you bringing up this morning. It stares us in our face in every day of our activities. Can you recall that there was a law, number 6 at 2009, enacted by River State House of Assembly then, assented to law by the governor then, Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi. That law created the agency called PMARI for short. And the spontaneous fine that you are talking about were all captured there. Apart from the last call I'm talking about, psychiatric hospital. You can only be referred there when you are driving opposite the traffic. Because it's believed that something is wrong with you in your head. Because you are seeing a vehicle coming in your front, that's not your lane, and you are going towards that vehicle. Do you know the part that fought that law, fought that agency? Now, in Lagos, you are aware of the agency in Lagos. I did not functioning.
Okay.
Created by Bola Tinubu when he was governor, not the president. It's functioning. But the one here was killed by the former administration.
Robin, was it killed by
the madness on the street would have reduced to zero?
Was it killed by the former administration? Was it killed?
Even the judges are afraid. Everybody's afraid of those people who don't carry gun. They don't even hold back. Because of the law, it was fought to stand still. Well, let it not be subjugated because the matter is still in court.
But that's the problem. Was it fought by the administration, or it was the outcry of people who said these guys were heavy-handed? Victor is in Rumukushi. Victor, we are going for a commercial. Good morning to you, please.
Good morning.
Please, I'm going to crave your indulgence so that we can be done with the commercial and we can come back later. So in the next 2 minutes, you can call and we'll get to speak to you, please. Thank you very much. So, you all know what it is to drive poorly, right? So why then are some of you doing it?
It's oil for cooking.
And it's going to be that time when we will find out who gets to be the kings of Europe. Well, club football wise. Now, so is it going to be Real or Borussia Dortmund? And who's going to get a shot at being the newest champion? Some will say probably one of the most difficult seasons ever. Well, is it going to be number 15 for Real Madrid or number 2 for Borussia Dortmund. So you have to come join Football Republic of Wazobia FM and the Sports Gang of Cool FM and Nigeria Info for Football Fans Fiesta 2.0, not 1.0, that's the other one, it's 2.0. All right, and the Champions League edition. Now come enjoy on the 1st of June as we get to watch the big game together. It's going to be amazing musical performances, comedy performances, and plenty of giveaways, which include smartphones. You just heard that from our friends in Phoenix, and all the lovely voices of your favorite OAPs from Cool FM, Wazobia, and Nigeriainfo FM will also be there. Now, once again, just in case you missed it, the date is the 1st of June, 2 days from now. The time is 6 p.m. and the venue is at Portland Resort Hotel, Cedarwood Estate, SARS Road, Port Harcourt. Now, this event is powered by Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeriainfo, Downtown, and in Phoenix. All right, so phones to be won, and obviously a chance to banter with the OAPs live in a very cozy environment. Now, you know all those details. We'll talk about that later on, okay? But whilst we are talking about, having fun, the question usually arises, how do you get to those venues? Now, when people are driving around Port Harcourt, it is a bit of a challenge. I know we've had conversation about road rage before, but here we are focusing particularly on the commercial drivers. So listen to me, if you are a commercial driver, or if you are a driver for a company, you drive their big trucks, their heavy duty vehicles, or you drive their buses, you deliver items, you are the motorcycle rider who calls around and brings our food and our boxers when we buy online and whatnot. If you are a tricycle rider, aka keke, you're also involved in this conversation. And why? Well, because a lot of people have complained that these individuals, this group of people I just made mention of, are probably the most guilty when it comes to traffic violations. This is not to say that personal or private car users don't violate traffic laws. They do. But let me share with you from the FRSC page some of the violations, and this was back in 2012. All right, these were the fines then. I've not gotten an updated version, right? But let me give you some of the things that you could be doing wrongly, and there are over 50 offenses, according to the Federal Road Safety Commission here in Nigeria, that would land you some fines, right? Now, first is the light or sign violation. Light or sign violation, which a lot of people here do not take heed to. They don't. The fine then is, or was then, according to this paper, 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira. Okay? Correct. The next one, which I know a lot of commercial drivers, particularly the bus drivers and taxi drivers, do, is this: operating mechanically deficient vehicle. You know, say your car no good. Maybe one of the tires is bad. Maybe, right, the engine doesn't fire properly, so it's polluting the atmosphere. You can tell, right? It also has very clear evidence of being in several accidents. It is mechanically deficient, but you're driving it. The fine, 5,000 naira. Overloading is here. Overloading, the penalty, 10,000 naira. Interesting. Look at that. Road obstruction, penalty, 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. They're one of my favorites, which I've decided to see amongst keke riders, is underage driving or riding. Underage driving or riding, 2,000 naira. Yes. When I say underage, I mean people who are not up to 18. We see them riding kekes today. We see them. All of these violations, and like I said, there are over 50 violations. The question is, why then, of all the groups, what exactly is wrong with the commercial drivers in Port Harcourt? Not all of them, some of them. What exactly is the problem that they seem so eager to violate rules and regulations? There's a red light. It's not like the light is faint. It is very clear. In fact, in some areas of Port Harcourt, there's even a time on there, so you can say, no. Oga James is driving from Brumbokoro, trying to get to my 3. He zooms past. The red light is there. In fact, in some cases, what some of them do is the exit point. You know, when you're on the road, on those bridges, there's an exit point. It's like, say you are, for example, you are getting to a location, all right, from NTA. You see the exit point. That road, that exit is meant to take you into Ada George. Guess what some of them do? They take that exit, right, and then they come out. They take the exit into Ada George, and then they come out and then drive off. Sharp guy, smart guy. Every single day, there's a very strong probability that as we're speaking right now, somebody, one of them, one Ikena, one Tunde, one Jehoshaphat somewhere, is breaking the law.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
So 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007, 0817923-0002, 0817923-0007. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. We're talking about traffic violations this morning. Now, whilst I was speaking, remember I just described some of the traffic violations, right? I just made mention of, the violation where people will get off the route, right? Take the exit and come back because they don't want to stay on the queue. Please.
They collect 100 naira. They start sort of 10,000. Because you can agree with me that no bus driver will know that when they find that we are carrying overload, they collect 10,000 from you. Due to next time, we cannot do that. But they know that they will pass that to 100 naira, even road safety, collect 200 naira from them. Then how can they stop carrying overload? The enforcement of the law is the problem. But we think. Thank you.
All right, Kurt says the enforcement of the law is the problem. Now, speaking of police, right, and maybe what happened yesterday just reinforced the choice of this conversation this morning. All right, maybe it did. Now, yesterday, as always, when I walk around, just get to listen to what's going on, feel the pulse. I got to hear a conversation between keke riders. Now, the keke rider who was narrating the story said, if you see what thing I just experienced, I said, this country, why I go take better when people day like this? And it piqued my interest. So, as always, I just turned down the volume of my headset, and then let me get the meat of this gist. Now, in summary, he rushed a patient to the hospital with his tricycle, with his keke, right? And because the woman was, the person was, in a very bad state, his empathy overtook him. So rather than charging exorbitantly, he said, okay, you know what? Pay me what you have, and I'll take you to this place, you and your people. I'll take you there to the hospital because it's an emergency, And he does so. He gets to the hospital, further complications. Oh, hospital say you must do this, you must do this. This is the man saying, he said in his head, he was like, can't you see this is an emergency? Can't you treat the person first? That's a conversation for another day. Now, in the process of trying to get documents, let them try and stabilize the person, right? The people brought her, the person died. So the keke man starts to go back to his point of call from that hospital. He's driving back. He's not, he's been traumatized. He's just literally witnessed someone die in front of him. Person just died. Guess who stops him on the road? Your jolly Nigerian police officer stationed in Port Harcourt. Jolly good people. They stopped him. Hey, you are not meant to be on the road at this time of the day. We are charging you. We are seizing you. We're confiscating your tricycle. And he says, "Okay, I am just coming from a hospital. The person who I carry, you can see there's nobody in my vehicle. I didn't carry anybody, right? I have a right to just drive. Like I said, I went to go and look for fuel. But I actually came from the hospital. Somebody died. You can see the blood stains here. Person was involved in an accident. They were rushing the person to the hospital. The policeman, this is what it said, the policeman did not bother to check his papers, nothing. All they said was, we are arresting you for being on the road at this point in time. If you know what is good for you, settle yourself now. Guess what they demanded for? 5,000 naira to settle this man. Eventually, more like you're buying pepper in the market these days, he haggled and they took 2,000 naira for Nigerian police. I'm not missing what? Nigeria police took 2,000 naira from a tricycle rider who empathetically offered his vehicle to be used as an ambulance. They didn't care if maybe that blood stain, maybe it was even an armed robbery. They didn't even investigate. All they wanted was the money. So maybe that's why people, would very boldly violate these laws. Very boldly. WhatsApp 009-030-6416. 009-030-6416. Hello, Jude. Good morning. All right, Matthew here. I'm a commercial driver. Most people flaunt traffic violations are military officers or army and police and what have you. Another group mentioned military security enforcers violating traffic laws. Now, I remember reading, thank you very much for this message, Matthew. I remember reading a while ago that I think it was stated that, yes, the police can, get past a red light, right? Sometimes they can even drive against traffic if there is an emergency. But most of the times, there's no emergency. At least not that we can see. Sad. More messages now. Churchill here says, okay, all right, Churchill. Okay, Churchill, I don't think you're following this conversation, but yes, we're talking about traffic violations. We're not talking about sending people, or maybe people should be sent to jail. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007, 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. Those are the phone numbers that you can use to have a conversation with us here in the studio. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. NAE Agbazinike says, good morning. I wonder where they are running to by the daytime, where they fall into the law. They'll show some respect to the day traffic. It's terrible. At Oyigbo along Aba Expressway, you will see drivers' madness in the glare of the police. They drive deliberately against the traffic. Sadly, the road safety marshals are at Obunabali and by their office doing nothing, apparently. As Boadua Chile says, there is no proper education but bullying the people by the security agents just to obtain bribes. That's why this continues. No proper education. Is that really true? That they're not really educated? Let's be honest. I think, I like to believe, correct me if I'm wrong, all right? I like to believe that any driver in this country, right, should know what the traffic lights mean. Red means stop. Amber or yellow means get ready to either stop or to move. And then green means you have the right of way. That means you can pass. That's what green means. I think it's pretty clear. I don't want to believe that some drivers don't know what red, amber, green means on the traffic lights. So what other education do they need? What other? I don't know. Good morning, Jude. I'll say this again. The worst set of police officers we have in this country work around Port Harcourt. End of story. Yes, they will protect lives and property when they are pushed. But every day, there's almost no junction, Jude, that you don't see them as early as 5:30 in the morning harassing people, collecting money. They only do this because nobody is stopping them. So if the people know that police can be bribed by 100 naira, 200 naira, or whatever, why would anybody want to keep the law? Why? Charles is in Rumbekwe. Charles, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, the VIPs with their escorts.
Another group.
They are the worst culprits as far as I'm concerned. Yesterday evening, I will give you one example. At Market Junction,
Rumumasi?
VIP who came with his escort. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Hit one way up to Market Junction before crossing and heading towards Air Force. Now, when you see police officers escorting such VIPs, what do you expect the bus drivers and the taxi drivers to do and the keke riders? You see, as far as I'm concerned, the state government has to pass a law on traffic regulation in Rivers State.
But there are laws already. They've been passed as far back as a decade ago.
They have to be properly enforced, my brother. And we're talking about enforcement. You need to have a designated agency that's responsible for everything called highway laws and regulation in Rivers State. And when you have such a task force, the people you employ must be well trained to understand the laws of traffic regulation in Rivers State. Because if you don't do that, this anomaly will continue. Dude, I have visited more than half of the 36 states of the country, and I'm sorry to say this. Rivers State is on zero level for me when you talk about the traffic in Nigeria. I'm telling you the fact. And it hurts me. I find it difficult to drive at times in Port Harcourt, to be honest with you. Because when I see a lot of 007s and Michael Schumachers on the road.
Oh, wow.
How do I feel? Look, the only way out, a law has to be passed. And it must be followed stricto sensu. Whether you're a VIP or not, you violate traffic laws, you get arrested and you face the penalty. End of story.
So let's talk a little bit about this punishment. Now, the question I ask is about instant fines. I've been told, I've not been to the UK. I've been told, my friend says, look, if you commit certain violations, right? They usually would maybe have your plate number, taken. If it's a speeding fine, the camera takes your details, and then at the end of the month you are sent a bill. But in some cases, if they catch you, they give you a ticket immediately and say, brother, you did this, so please, your fine is £5 or whatever, and you have to go and pay at the council. Would that measure work here? Instant fines?
No. You see, the thing, we shouldn't copy what they do over there. We should implement our own that fits the orientation of the society we live in. Because if you want to get that instant fine, it's going to be a case of, oh boy, now I beg, no vex. Let me just solve you negotiating how much I'll give you for you to let me go. But once you are arrested, you have your plate number. get the plate number down, send it to the appropriate authorities. Then they'll be waiting for you the day you come to renew your driver's license or your vehicle papers. The moment you get there, they are waiting for you. Before you know it, they'll remind you of the date you did this.
Okay.
Then you go to court for that. It's as simple as that, my brother.
Okay, that seems like a very interesting measure. Zion is in GRA. Victor's in Rumbukushi. Zion, let's hear from you, please.
What you said about the UK is even the old pattern. The updated one is as you just violate, less than 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you have received a debit alert.
Oh.
Straight up. They know they talk too much. And they will set a robot in your account in case there is no money. Any money that entered there any day, they will collect it. The problem with us in this part of the world that we are so deviant in nature. And committing crime, we enjoy doing it. But I think we need to improve. All this while we have the federal road safety who cannot meet up to the demand of the number of cars we have. So now, can we have a legislation to have state road safety?
Okay, but you know, it's similar to what you have in Lagos, Latsma, and you know, all the various task force have been enforced there.
Task force, state road safety.
Okay.
The state road safety, a body enacted by the Act of the Parliament, that should oversee the operations of the state road and not federal road.
Okay. All right. Zion, thank you very much. All right. That was Victor once again from Rumbukushi. This one here says, and you, good morning. We seem to be going around circles, and unfortunately not circles in the right manner. If everybody is meant to do the right thing, who is meant to lead? Guess what? It's the leaders. So from the police, and somebody rightfully said the VIPs, they need to start to hold those people responsible. How can so-called VIPs be driving against traffic? Even in normal traffic, Jude, don't you see when police blare their sirens going to nowhere, people follow them? You see, if the police do the right thing, everybody would do the right thing. Nimi is on the line. Let's get to say hello to Nimi. Nimi is speaking to us from Rumaholu. Nimi, welcome, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, Nimi. Go on, please.
Okay, yeah, I listened to one of the messages, and I think it aligns with my idea, my opinion of this, because he said that we're going around circles, and really, yeah. If you look at River State in between 2013, let's say 2010 to 2015, we had Timari. Timari was like a traffic body
yes,
working in the state.
Yes.
And I can tell you that River State had a same system of traffic during that time. You rarely see people breaking the laws anyhow, but coming out of mostly route violation in that. You see Timari arresting lots of commercial vehicles, regular vehicles, and even VIPs. I did see once in a while when you see them arresting police, even escorting expatriates in convoys, you know. And the primary logo then was respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, they will not respect you. You know, and I think that it was Roberto was saying to some extent, but after 2015 and after to this period, the whole thing just changed, and
but
everybody reverted back to the way we were driving before.
But if you remember,
just messing the road up.
Hello,
so I think that something like that has to be reenacted again.
Okay.
Because the Timari was even ratified by the House of Assembly. So I don't know if that law was repealed or changed or whatever, but maybe if it is still in action, maybe the new governor can do the same thing.
Okay. All right, Nimi, thank you very much. You have a break coming up on that 15 seconds. But if you remember, there was an outcry from you, the Rivers people. Why? Because of the heavy-handedness of some members of Timariv. Remember?